Jesus was teaching to a large crowd one day when an expert in religious law stood up and asked a question to try to test Jesus. He asked, "Teacher, what must I do to have eternal life?" Jesus knew that this man knew the law, so he asked him, "What is written in the law? How do you read it?" The man answered, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your strength, and with all your mind, and love your neighbor as yourself." "You have answered correctly," Jesus replied. "Do this, and you will live." But the man wasn't done. He still wanted to test Jesus to see what he would say. So he asked Jesus, "And who is my neighbor?" In reply, Jesus used a parable to teach an important lesson to the crowd. A man was traveling from Jerusalem to Jericho when he was suddenly attacked by robbers. They stole his clothes, beat him up, and left him on the road. The man was so terribly hurt that he couldn't even stand up on his own. He was dying on the road. After a little while, a priest happened to be going down the same road. Priests were like pastors in Jesus' time. And when the priest saw the poor, beat-up man, instead of stopping to help him, he just went over to the other side of the road and kept walking. Then a temple assistant, a Levite, walked past. Perhaps a Levite would be more like an assistant pastor or teacher today. But this Levite didn't stop to help the man either. He too went to the other side of the road and just kept walking. But then a Samaritan came down the road. Now, all the people there whom Jesus was teaching knew that a man from Samaria wouldn't talk to or be nice to a Jewish man, mostly because Jewish people were not usually very nice to Samaritans. They were longtime enemies. But, Jesus explained, as this Samaritan came down the road and saw the Jewish man lying there, all beaten up, he felt badly for him. So he went right over to him and he helped him. He bandaged the poor man's wounds and he gave him medicine. Then he put the man on his own donkey and brought him to an inn and took care of him. The next day he gave his own money to the innkeeper. "Look after him," he said, "and when I return I will pay you back for any extra expense you may have." When Jesus finished the story, he looked right at the Jewish law expert and asked, "Which of these three do you think was a neighbor to the man who was beaten up by robbers?" The expert could only reply with the obvious answer, the one who had mercy on him and helped him. Then Jesus simply told him, "Go and do the same to others."